I have a quick demo, I guess. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
So I started modeling the information schema. Um, and I was mainly just really trying to understand the types of stuff that we have. Yeah, we got a little tech meme in the background, of course. But I'm just starting to sort of preview the types of stuff that we can get out of the box. So like first, we've got our biggest tables, and we can look at like row counts and bytes. Um, but just spending some time trying to understand sort of what's in here that we could actually productize that's interesting. So this is by schema. Public only has one table. We also have the biggest queries that have ever been run inside Omni, or not, sorry, not inside Omni, inside Snowflake. So I should mention this is all Snowflake. Um, and some of these queries take a moment to actually run because I think this is like a gigabyte or something like that, a couple gigs to run. But theoretically, this will return. And then we can see our biggest queries ever and who ran them and everybody's got scanned before I sort of tab through. But the nice thing here is that we can actually productize probably a lot of this. So we can see our biggest query ever was 18 gigs. We can see when they ran. We can see the exact SQL that ran. And so we've got some nice tooling that we can actually give to people that just shows them quick stuff. So this is an example that just looks at queries that are running in the database. Probably only the one, my own query. And you can see I've got to do some cleanup here because for whatever reason, Snowflake says that if it hasn't finished, they give it Excel time, which is kind of strange. Or maybe we did that, but anyway. But you can also see stuff like warehouse utilization by hour. And so this shows us what percentage of the data warehouse we are actually using on an hourly basis. So you can see that we are mostly underutilized. We can also see things like what database user is actually running queries. The queries table takes the longest. But what's nice here is we can actually see sort of like how much exercise Fivetran or Omni or whatever is actually putting on the data warehouse here. So you can see that our analytics usage has increased significantly recently, whereas if I look at like Fivetran, for example, it's fairly consistent since we set it up. But we can start seeing, bytes scanned by thing over time. And we can probably productize this if we wanted to into like a set of dashboards that we can hand people. And kind of my thought is maybe this could be like a freemium type thing that we offer to folks. But in any case, it's all modeled pretty straightforward. We'd have to do this database by database to actually do it properly, but have a nice little set of stuff.
I had a handful of conversations with folks at Monte Carlo about this specifically, and everyone was like, because they were all a little bit more data infrastructure folks in general. They were all wildly excited. So I also demoed Ariel's analytics in analytics, sort of Omni on Omni in our analytics tab in Playground too. And folks love the idea of having visibility into usage and even tying that into sort of actionable workflows. And for data people, that means how do you go and optimize queries or materialize tables or pull things into dbt that should be computed on an incremental basis, that sort of thing. So this is awesome, and being able to productize it too is going to really resonate with the market.
Yeah, all this stuff reminds me of just the ROI conversations that came up at the Snowflake first round event that we did, and I think this is just tying into what people want there.
Also massive for a time to value thing on like every new POC. Like if we can just pull this in as table stakes, it separate it speeds the conversation up on like everything. So yeah, I love it.
Well, and I have a small requirement for you to work on next week, which is to build something equivalent for all the embed activity.
You can probably figure that out.
I'm like joking, not joking.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we've got it in the database somewhere.